Goeiemorgen, good morning, and to my Capetonian friends, away. I see we have a few people already watching this morning. Just see that we get all the best volume or video volume for you guys. Good morning to Sarel, Johan, guys and girls. I don't see any girls here yet, but alright, they'll still probably join us. They're still probably busy doing some chores there in the kitchen. My name is Viljoen, all the way from Welcome Bay in Tauranga. That's on the North Island. I'm an financial advisor, not an immigration advisor, but this morning we're going to talk about salaries. What are you worth in New Zealand? So I had this very interesting text the other day, or let me say Facebook Messenger rather, the other day, about somebody saying they had a wonderful interview and everything just went fine. We actually gave them a few tips before the interview, and they just gave us some feedback on that and said thank you, and everything went fine. They said, but the second they asked them what salary were they expecting, they had a problem. So, all right. Now I asked them, why did you have a problem? And they came back and said, we didn't know what the salary was for that type of job in New Zealand. So that's a bit of a hiccup. Coming from South Africa, you're working in rands. Moving over to New Zealand, now suddenly in dollars, so you just can't divide everything by 10, although your rand gets divided by 10 if you bring it over to New Zealand. So if you arrive here, you have to go and source, well, let me not say if you arrive here, if you are ready for a job interview, you have to source a way to find out what do they pay for that sector you are applying in, because it will pop up. Somewhere along the line, somebody's going to say, what do you want to be paid? Because I mean that's a reasonable question, and I mean from your side it could also have been a reasonable question to say, what are you guys going to pay me? So the employer has got a figure somewhere in his mind. Remember that the employer's got a figure somewhere in the mind. He wants to see where is your figure regarding his figure. That's now the interesting thing, just to get those two to working together. So point one, I know if a South African comes over, they are willing to work for anything just to get here. It's not going to work for them. They want to find out, point one, what do they need to spend on you? How much is it going to cost their business? If you come in and fall down at the bottom, at the lowest point, you probably could get the job, but you could also probably not get the job, that they could think you are undervaluating yourself. The other problem as well, and I'm not going to go into the immigration side of things, that's where Vanita's strong point is. On the immigration side of things, you have to earn a certain amount of money before immigration allows you into the country. So if you outnumber yourself there, or outprice yourself there, you probably ain't going to get in. So that's the other way around. Let's take a few. I've opened a few web pages here on the site, so, and I'll post these web pages for you as well a bit later when we finish with this. Then I'll post that for you. But in the meantime, let's take one or two jobs. The guy that called me or that made contact with me was a mechanic. So let's quickly pop into a mechanic. Let's see, where does a mechanic go? Automotive. And this is on TradeMe. So on TradeMe, they reckon a mechanic is between 32 to 75,000. Okay? Get this in your mind. Between 32 and 75. So that's quite a major difference between 32 and 75, and they reckon the average pay there is about 47. But is that what you are worth? Is that what you can work on? I think 47 won't get you through the immigration gates. That's my point. On the other side, if you've been working for many years in your current position that you do not want to come in and start totally at the bottom as the same price as a new mechanic, for instance. I'm just taking mechanics here, guys. Nothing against mechanic. I actually think you're the lucky guys. Just taking mechanic as an idea here. So if you've been 15 years in your current position in South Africa and you arrive in New Zealand, you do not want to start off at year one where the other mechanics that have just qualified start off. I mean, you are way more senior than this, although you probably won't become a manager or something, or one of those titles in New Zealand. You probably could earn a lot more money than the guy stepping in at the beginning. So keep that in mind. and in your salary, you also got to make up your mind and decide where you are living. Where are you going to live? Where is this position that you're applying for? If it's in Auckland, then the amount of money that you need to earn must be a bit more than presumably somewhere down in the South Island or even down Tauranga way. Although Tauranga is becoming expensive as well. But the living cost in New Zealand is just, or in Auckland, is just a bit higher than the rest of New Zealand. So let's see. I see here a plumber without gas fitting, just a general plumber. Let's do that. That's quite interesting. Let's take a plumber. Let's see where will the plumber fall into construction and roading probably. No, it's not there. Let's see where else. All right, I've got a different thing here as well. I actually while I was researching this, I saw a very interesting site that I'm going to tell you guys about that as well now. Perhaps one of the employees is on this side as well, and they can tell us a bit more about that. Let's go back to the plumber. Let's see where we can get plumber. Plumber would be under. As I didn't see plumber here. I'll scratch around a bit more. It could probably be under construction. Labouring, quantity surveying, surveyors, surveying. But you'll always see, whenever you're looking at a specific job, you'll see a lot of, or a wide range of different opinions on what the price range must be. So keep in mind your specific needs, and then from there on work through that. I'm sorry, I can't see a plumber here. We're quite interesting to see where plumbers went. I'm just afraid to go out of this site then and then struggle to get back into this. What else can we look at? Let's go office administration. Office management or receptionist, starting between 27 and 47. That's a $20,000 gap there, and the medium pay is about 36. Office management 47 to 35. The medium is again 47. Let's go one back and get the manufacturing and operations. Probably get something more there. Fitters and machining. That's just one that we've had a few jobs on the last few weeks. Range between 32 to 85. 85 being the high scale. The middle of this is 55, they say. Let's see if we can get electrician. I see some people has asked questions regarding electrician. Strange that I can't get the electrician. Health and safety, here's another one. Health and safety 43 to 115. This is quite a nice one. I just see Nico asked about health and safety. Health and safety 43 to 115, and the middle or the median pay, the average pay there is about 75. So 75 is a livable salary, and that's per year, 75,000. So quantity surveying, QS, the guys out there, the QS guys, between 55 to 135, and the medium there is 95,000 per year. Site management comes in between 50 to 145,000. That's quite a big difference between the two, but again the medium is about 95. Supervisors and forepersons, between 50,000 and 115,000. That'll be your manager type of things, more in the building industry. And then the medium is about 75. What else can we see that are here this morning? Quick one. Customer service. Let's see customer service, what they have under that. Call centers 32 to 55. The medium is 40,000. All right, let's me see one of the questions you guys got here. Questions are scrolling too fast. Logistics supply chain and FMCG, logistics supply chain. Where will that be? Let's see. Automotive. No. Let's take healthcare quickly. Physiotherapist, 47 to 102. The medium is 65,000 per year. Pharmacy is a difficult one. Dentist, dentistry, 35 to 89, and then the medium is 47,000. To those who come over and do some caregiving is where you go around and look after the other people, the older people. The caregiving is between 32 and 55, with the medium being about 40,000. It's quite a lot of the ladies that does that while they're on the husband's visa. So just keep in mind, some of these jobs that I've named now probably won't get you back, well, won't get you through the door with immigration. So somebody says, Herman says, plumber will be under trades. Let's see, trades. If you get a specific thing for trades, they are trades and services. Ah, my friends, I've got so many smart friends out there. Aircon and refrigeration, that's another big one that's in New Zealand. 35 to 85, and then the average is about 60,000. Beautician, all right, that's for those people who make other people look more beautiful. 32 to 60,000, and the middle is about 40,000 there. Boilermakers, welders, 37 to 70, the average is 53. Building and carpentry, 37 to 80. It's quite a big medium there, but the medium is 53. Butchers, bakers, electrical. I don't know. They don't say specifically what under electrical here. They give that 40 to 85. The middle is 60. Hairdressing, 30 to 65. I know that's a skill that a lot of ladies come over on, and there's an employer here in New Zealand called Vivo, and they are always employing South Africans down here. So hairdressers then between 30 to 65, and the medium being about 45 there. Plumbing, here's the plumbers, 37 to 75, but the medium being a bit high, 60. So very good average salary, but starting low off at 37. Security, 32 to 70, and the medium about 40. That's $40,000 for security. Now, security is not very big in New Zealand, to be quite frank about that. We don't have the type of threats that other people are living with in other parts of the world. All right, logistics, supply chain and planning. Quite a big difference here. 40,000 to 121,000, and the medium being 65. So medium being 65, then warehousing and distribution, 32 all the way up to 65,000, and the medium being 37,000. Management in the logistics side comes between 42 to 170 or 107, and then middle of management is about 65,000. Rochelle, I hope you've heard about the hairdressers that we just gave now. Let me see what else questions there is. Are diesel mechanics different to mechanics? I think the one works on diesel and the other one works on normal engines. I even seen under mechanics, generator mechanic. So I don't know if that's so much different. I mean, an engine is an engine, and I know the mechanics will probably throw me with stones now, but an engine is an engine. If you're a good mechanic, you can probably work on most of engines, if it's in the diesel range or if it's in the petrol range. So, oh yeah, by the way, this morning, if for the guys in New Zealand already, Gala's got a 10% discount on their fuel. So keep that in mind. I see Garth is asking about roofers. Garth, I haven't seen roofers down here. Let me go back to that trades and services. Roofers could be anything but, oh, there's roofing. 32,000 to 75,000, with the medium being about 55,000. So that is the one side. Panel beater. I see panel beater down here. Guys, no, I don't see panel beaters on the trades. Let me see. I quickly go back to sales. Sales managers. I know a lot of people are trying to get in as sales managers as well. 45 to 185,000. Big difference there, but the medium being about 85,000. So sales managers not too bad off if you can get the medium pay, but don't go for the lower scales. Account management, that is more like your type of reps, between 40 and 105, and then the medium there is about 65. BDMs or business development managers, 45 to 125, and the medium being 75. Sales reps also fall between 35 and 100, and the medium being about 55. Let's see what else. Draftsman. I saw something about draftsman. That'll be under architecture. Drafting 45,000 to 100,000, and the medium being about 65. And then interior designers, guys, you pop in at 37 to 105, and the medium about being 62. I see somebody popped up pay scale. Good comparison. You can use that as well. I was actually looking for that this morning, but it's a bit of a longer one. We can't go through that as easily as we're going through this now this morning. FMCG. Then Johan Boyke wants to know, what does a financial advisor earn? Johan, it's as hard as you work. Mostly financial advisors in New Zealand, they earn a commission only. That's why it's one big problem to bring over a financial advisor here. And if you do get a salary, you'll probably be in about of the 60,000 range, and then you got to add commission to that as well. So it is doable, but it's tough to get in on that specific type of job. There's some fishing, farming, forestry, 32 to 65, with the medium being about 47. Farming is wide. I mean, there's a lot of things to do under farming, 30 to 80, and the medium being about 45. I think at 45 you probably won't get through the gates, of the immigration. So let's see about the teachers. Teachers are very interesting. I spoke to a teacher the other day, and the way they go about is they get their stuff sent off to a organization, sorry, I forgot the name, in New Zealand, and these organizations will go along and have a look and see how many years experience they do have, and then they offer them based on that. So it's a quite an open system. Early childhood teachers 25 to 65, with the medium being about 47. Primary school teachers 22 to 65, and the medium being about 47 again. Secondary school teachers 25 to 85. For $25,000, I will not give school to anybody's kids. I promise you that. And the medium being there about 50,000. That's for secondary. And then tertiary 32 to 85. I've heard under tertiary of higher salaries than 85. So this is a bit low on the lower side. But under tertiary, the medium is 55. And then au pairs or nannies 25 to 45. The medium being about 32, which is a bit low. Tutoring and training. For those guys, I know we had one or two questions regarding training the past 2 weeks, if I'm right. 40,000 to 109,000, with the medium being 47 there. So 109,000 if you're a very good trainer, and 47 if you're in the middle of the line. So all depends on what the company is offering as well as. But on the other hand, it's very important that you know what you are worth once you walk into a once you walk into an interview. I see just Herman asking what's the price of a hitman. That differs. It's all depending on the target, as they always say. Let's go back to HR and recruitment. HR between 42 and 115. So this is a well-paying job, and recruitment between 40 and 120k. The mediums both being the 65,000. So that is a bit of a better type of paying position. I don't know how many people are in marketing. Brand or product management 40 to 125. Communications and PR 45 to 202. That's quite good, with the average being 75 there on both these. Journalism 42 to 85, and that on average on 55. I just heard about a journalist that came over the other day. So that is also a position that's available in New Zealand for South Africans. Let's get one or two other. Communication, public relations, marketing manager. That's from Yolande. Let me just see if I can get marketing managers here. No. Sorry, they don't have. They've got marketing assistants and coordinators, anything between 40 and 75,000. So I think that is about as big as you can think. And then the property sector, residential sales and management 37 to 125, or the facilities and commercial property management 43 to 145. I do know that some South Africans came over and doing property management this side as well, but I think more the South Africans that come over to become estate agents, most of them work probably on commission as well. I think it's just a bit more lucrative for them on that field. Then on the other side, engineering, I got back to electrical engineer, 40 to 105, industrial engineer, 37 to 97. Most of the engineers range between 40 to about 120,000. Civil engineer, 45 to 140. I don't see a lot of other type of engineers. Water and waste type of engineer, 39 to 123,000, while the medium there is about 75,000. Then, while we are on this, I actually by accident this morning opened an old site that they knew about, and it's called Hayes Recruiting Experts Worldwide. These are recruiters, and I'll drop their website on here as well. I was just playing around with diesel or with mechanic, and under the mechanic side I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 12, 15, about 15 different mechanical positions available just in New Zealand. All ranging from HVAC installer through to industrial maintenance manager, maintenance engineer, diesel fitter mechanic, diesel mechanic, mechanical technician. This is all over New Zealand. It's not only based in one area. Some of them Auckland, some of them more out in South or Wellington and that type of areas. So keep that in mind. I just want to see what nursing is. I know nursing is a quite a big thing here as well. Where shall we find nursing? This is quite interesting. Let me see. Customer services. Perhaps no, not there. Let's see. Healthcare. Nursing and midwifery, 47,000 to 90,000, and the medium being there about 65. Also occupational therapy in that price bracket, 37 to 87, medium being about 55. Physiotherapist, 47 to 102, medium about 65. Psychology and counseling, 45 to 85, and the medium being about 55. All right, panel beaters, spray painters. Natasha Hampson saying, applied to jobs through Hayes. Majority needed you to be in the country. Don't really consider you if you're not. I know that's a problem with the majority of jobs always in New Zealand. They want to have you here. They want you to have the right visa already. But I do understand where they do come from. But there is still there is jobs out there that is available for South Africans because they cannot fill them in New Zealand. It just takes a bit longer. You just have to look a bit more, a bit harder. You've got to do the thing right. I actually spoke to somebody yesterday who had, I think, the ideal job. She worked on trains, and this is unbelievable. I mean, this is something I would have loved to do as a kid growing up. We always went down and watched the steam trains as they went past. So, yeah. Some people find their dream jobs in New Zealand, other people come here and they make their dream jobs. That's right. Then, guys and girls, while you are on the salary front, I'm going to drop another thing here as well. It's called Salary Calculator for New Zealand, and I will also drop the Pay As You Earn calculator because this is important. So they offer you a salary. At the end of the day, you take your salary home without your pay as you earn or your taxes that goes to IRD or the SARS version of the tax man in New Zealand. So that is on the one side. That you need to know what's going in your pocket because that will also affect your way of living. It doesn't help you getting a reasonable good salary, but the amount that you take home is very little. Just keep that in mind. I'm going to pop that link up for you as well, so you can play around with your salaries on there. On average, the tax charged in New Zealand is less than in South Africa, and I can really promise you the tax in New Zealand is really applied to the best of us all, where they do fix the roads, they do build new stuff. You can see where your tax money is going, and at the end of the year, there's always some taxes over. Let's see what Sean asks. Sean, Jan, the issue is not the job ads. There are more than enough jobs available. Not being in New Zealand is making it extremely difficult to secure one of these jobs. Sean, I fully agree with you in that. That is probably the statement that makes the most sense for me today. 95% of you won't find jobs while you're in South Africa, and I would say coming to New Zealand, about 70% of all people do find jobs. Immigration is clamping down a bit, and they're asking way more questions these days for people just coming on a work visa for 3 months and having no real thoughts of going back to South Africa. They're asking more questions because they know South Africans are coming to look for jobs here. Herman May asking steam planes. Herman, I was at, as they call this in Afrikaans, a chokkertjie, when my father took me to watch some steam planes down those years still in Kimberley, there near the Groot Gat. So, yeah, I am that old. So, Johan Boyke, is it possible to secure a job from South Africa? It took me about, he says it is possible. I fully agree, it is possible. It is possible to secure a job from South Africa. I've had quite a few talks with people that do get a job from there. I can also tell you the type of industries that they are in. If you're in the medical field, you will probably get a job easily from South Africa. If you are doing stuff with this, like diesel mechanic, that's why I say you guys are the lucky ones. If you're doing diesel mechanic, if you are working with your hands, HVAC installers, those type of guys, psychologist, physiotherapist, or medical line of field, those guys easily find jobs from out of South Africa. But the problem is the other jobs, the ones that are not that more available, the ones where there are Kiwis applying as well, your account managers, these type of jobs, more difficult to get while you are out of New Zealand than to get while you are in of New Zealand. It's easy to say no to a CV. If you're sitting in front of a desk like I'm doing today, and I'm opening my emails, and there pops up a CV from a South Africa, and he says he's still in South Africa, and I can see from his CV he's still in South Africa, I just click delete. It's easy as that. If I was HR manager and I knew I could probably get a few Kiwis to apply as well, and be much easier to get it done that way, I will probably do it that way. The same with some of the recruitment agencies. I know people say, try recruitment agencies, myself as well, and no few of the recruiters will absolutely go out of their way to help South Africans. But mostly recruiters earn money by putting people into jobs, and if you are still in South Africa, they're going to wait 3 months just for you to get your visa, and another 3 months for you to reach it. That's 6 months down the line. That's how long the salary is put off until you reach here. So they'll most probably just give the job to somebody else who can do the job and easier. Keep that in mind. Guys and girls, then our time is nearly up this morning. It's a lovely morning in New Zealand. It has started to begin to heat up. Our days is about 25. It's absolutely beautiful out here. And as I always say, you guys got to stay safe in South Africa. There is a life after South Africa, and I'm not making it sound bad now, but we all know what's wrong with South Africa, and it's always about leadership at the end of the day. Well, that's me. Time for me to say love you and leave you, and thanks for everybody that listened this morning. Guys and girls, my name is Viljoen, all the way from Welcome Bay in Tauranga in the North Island, and if you're ever in New Zealand, come pop in, come drink a cup of coffee with me. I had some lovely people that I met up in the last few weeks as well. This morning I'm actually traveling down to Hamilton to meet somebody that has just arrived in the country. I'm really looking forward to that. So, yeah, that's me and my boring life here in New Zealand. No crime. And I saw somebody ask her, how much do I pay my wife to clean up the window? I actually bought a very nice tool. You can buy your wife nice tools in this country. And you can give that to them over Christmas and so on. But that's just me. I'll probably end up with 2 blue eyes after this. Guys and girls, that's me. Thanks a lot. See you all again. Thank you. Bye-bye.